Hi again.
Hi, it's Sarah.
I'm Mary Margaret. We're back.
And this is just our next installment of our video blogs on coaching with the class. And last time we talked about using the class in the parallel process for establishing relationships, with the teachers whom you're coaching.
Right. And we talked about how we would use a lot of the construct of the class observation measure and sort of translating that into how we deal with coaches and establishing those relationships, making sure they trust us, making sure that we respond in a way that works for them and that we're really listening for what they're telling us about what they know.
Right, exactly.
And that kind of leads us to today's topic, which is really what makes professional development effective. What does work with coaches?
Right.
And so we've got some ideas on that, obviously. One of the things is that we need to see something consistent over time.
Right.
It doesn't work very well to just, jump in, talk to somebody one time and leave and never talk to them again because, number one, you wouldn't have a relationship anyway.
Right.
And then you're mentioning about the evidence for effective professional development.
Right. So I did some digging into what makes for effective professional development. And, there's traditionally, and you and I both probably endured a lot of these when we were classroom teachers, but it was the workshop. It was the throw and go.
Mm-hmm.
And some expert comes in and they tell us something that we need to know, and then they leave. And perhaps that topic that they're talking about is of relevance to us as a classroom teacher, and sometimes it wasn't of relevance to us as a classroom teacher. And even when it was relevant, there wasn't always that feedback and that opportunity. Actually, feedback is probably not the right word. That follow-up, that opportunity to really practice what it is that I had learned about in the workshop. And so it makes it fairly ineffective. And in fact, when you look at, when you ask teachers to rate professional development, this workshop, the throw and go, or I sometimes call it the hope and pray, pray that it sticks, it's their least favorite.
Right. And it's right, because you get excited about something and then you get back to your center or your real life and you forget about it or you don't remember how it went. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it seems too big. Like what we're asking them to do is too big. And so one of the things that I think is really important is that we take our teachers from where they are and really finding out, who they are and what are they interested in and how do they see this and what are their challenges and what are the things that work for them? What do they like about their day?
So if we go back to the parallel process we talked about last week with that building relationships, as we're starting to think with a teacher about, where do we start? Well, let's just talk to them about their day. Tell me about your day. Tell me about the routines, what's working well, where are things a little bit more problematic. We'll gain so much information from that process, and also I think gain the teacher's trust.
Right.
And in terms that we really do want to work with them and we want it to be really focused on their needs as opposed to an external need that we may want to talk about.
Right, and then it makes it real for them. So we need to embed the kind of support we give teachers in professional development in what their actual needs are, where they're coming from, what their life is like. And we also need to be able to collect information from them just in an anecdotal way, but we also can collect information through observation and individualizing that focused, evaluative kind of a conference. So we go in, we see what's going on, and then we try to apply what we see and communicate that in a way that it's not off-putting or scary to them. Right. It's not about what they're doing wrong. It's about what we see.
Right, and I think that that's a really important part of the coaching process is that the teacher sees the coach as a support and not as a punitive experience. And I think that one of the things that in the coaching programs where I've worked is we've really made certain that the teachers whom we coached understood that what went on between the coach and the teacher really stayed between the coach and the teacher.
Confidentiality.
Yes, exactly. Because if I'm certainly just thinking about myself, if I had to open up to a coach and was talking about areas that were more difficult, I might be less likely to do that if I thought that they were going to run to my boss and say, well, do you know that she's really struggling with that? And it would make me feel much more vulnerable than I would feel if I knew that, yes, this person's here to support me with that goal of helping me improve so that I can then help my children learn more.
Yeah, so it's it's not supervision, it's
Right.
support, which I think makes a big difference.
Exactly.
So we were supposed to cut this a little shorter, but we'll be back with some more vlogs in the future. It's been fun, and we're really excited that people liked us on Facebook. So keep liking us, and any comments that you have about things you'd like to see, just get back to us.
Let us know. We like talking to each other. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.